Good morning. Happy Sunday morning. Yes, Sunday. Man, oh man, the scale was good to me yesterday. The down 2.8. Total lost 194 pounds. I'm two things that hit me yesterday when I stood on the scale. I'm 6 pounds away from the goal I set 6.5 years ago. When I sat in that little studio in Coral Springs and I said, I want to lose 200 pounds and reevaluate my life at that point. I'm 6 pounds away. 6.5 years later, 6 pounds away from that moment. But also, there's the added, I'm just about 2 pounds away from being able to say that the beginning of my weight starts with the number 1. There is no time in my life that I can even point to. We're talking about third grade or less, okay? I'm trying to use the events of my life to dictate, and there are many events where weight created a trauma, right? Where it's easy to say I was this age at this time. I was this age because there was a trauma involved. There is literally nothing anymore to look back on to try and pinpoint, where I'm at, right? To try and pinpoint where I'm at. But it's definitely really, really young that the first number in my weight is a 1. And, when you kind of take a moment and you think about it all the work it took to be able to say that, right? And I'm not even there yet, right? So just being able to say that I'm 2 pounds away, all of the work that it took to get there. If anybody ever told you that this would be easy, they were lying to you. And if you feel like it's easy, wait, it hasn't begun yet. The real fight hasn't begun yet. Because really, there is, it's separated when you make the decisions, when the real hard decisions come in life. That's when the road will get hard, right? And we live in a world where everything is normalized. And sometimes in your journey, you have to go a little bit more than what's required. You have to do more than what's required in order to succeed at what you're trying to do. And people around you, they don't understand that. They think that, okay, this company told me that if I stay within my points and, and I do that every day and I weigh and measure my food and I track and I get out and move, that I can get to my goal weight. And for some people in the world, that is entirely true, right? But for others, there are sacrifices. And the people that didn't have to sacrifice, these are the people that will tell you, no, that's not required. But even the culture of the company is everything's on the table. But there's going to become moments where, for you, your personal journey, your attachment to certain things has to come to an end. And people don't like hearing that, but it doesn't make it less true. It is part of the journey to make sacrifices. If you really want to get to where you want to get, sacrifice is needed. And whether or not you even see it this way, we all started with our time. We sacrificed our time. When we signed up, we sacrificed our money and our time. Because time spent tracking, time spent weighing and measuring, time spent food prepping, time's taken to exercise, all of these things, you invested time and you invested money. That's how it began. And for some of you, it will take sacrifice. And further than that, right? It's going to take battling some deep emotions, right? And it'll be because your attachments to these foods are rooted in the emotions you never dealt with, because food became the comfort for those emotions. And it became your coping mechanism in that way. And if it did become your coping mechanism in that way, then you have to almost unlearn the behavior of using food as a coping mechanism in a society that normalizes it, right? They act like it's okay, and you'll just keep the trauma for the rest of your life. And I'm telling you that you don't have to keep the trauma. Certainly, at some point, if there's trauma in your life, you made a choice depending on how far that trauma is, whatever, at some point you're making a choice that says, I'm keeping this trauma in my life, right? And I'm not going to grow from it. And people don't like to hear that either, but I'm the kind of guy that says the things that people don't like to hear. But it is your choice in the long run. You're either going to keep the coping mechanisms, or you're going to change them and break the chain of them altogether. And a lot of that has been my approach over the last 6.5 years, to try and break the chains that food had on my life. And not to say that everybody has to do it. You can certainly do whatever you want. But if you ever want to really feel free, then it needs to be done. And the sacrifices need to be made. And it is the only way to propel forward to become the greatest version of yourself. Because in the end, this whole thing we're doing, it's not really about a scale number. And even though it's your main focus, it's not about the scale number, because you can get to your scale number and still be unhealthy. You could still have an unbalanced relationship with food. You can still, all of these things. So this is why people get to their goal weights and they still yo-yo. They still struggle. It's because they never actually dug deep to figure out why they do the things they do and what is it rooted in. And they, in their mind, I made the scale number I made, and and this is what I wanted, and I'm going to tell the world that I'm healthy because of it. But there are many more things involved here. Many more things involved, because the greatest version of yourself achieves the scale number as a byproduct of becoming the greatest version of yourself. Once you are there and you are the greatest version of yourself, there is no more hang-up. There is no more coping mechanism. You are free, and your behaviors have changed. You're no longer a slave to your emotions, to the food you choose. You're not a slave to any of it. And you will keep that result basically, you will keep that result because of the knowledge you obtain becoming the greatest version of yourself. It won't be a struggle anymore. It will just be what you do. And the holds that all of these things have on you, the holds that your emotions have on you, the holds that food has on you, whatever the case may be, these things don't have that hold on you anymore. And that's what really this journey is about. This journey is about the breaking the chains on your life that put you in this position. What's the point of making a goal weight without breaking the chains? Because it's entirely possible to do that. But what is the point of getting to your goal weight and not breaking the chains, that the holds, the strongholds that have been created in your life because of the traumas of your past? What's the point if not to do this hard work? You're already doing hard stuff anyway. What's more hard? What's more? Just pile it on. Might as well. If you came out of this becoming this great, well-balanced, there are people that can claim their lifetime, but when they talk, they sound like rookies. It sounds like it's their first day. And it's evidence of how far they've gone in what they do, right? And there's plenty of people that are not going to like that. But I'm not here to make people happy. I'm here to help people become healthy and become the greatest version of themselves in the process. It's Sunday. It's the Lord's Day. It's family day. It's football Sunday. Whatever you're doing today, enjoy your family, enjoy your worship, enjoy your football, but most of all, enjoy your Sunday. I love each and every one of you. God bless you all.